All right, guys. This is Acer of Spades with TripAholix Gaming, bringing the most informative, multilingual content to gamers all around the world. And I would like to welcome you to the long-awaited Last Shelter Survival Doomsday Season 3 Heroes Breakdown. There have been some significant changes to Doomsday with the addition of Eden Rising. And recently, TripAholix Gaming released an Eden Rising Basic Guide. It's completely for free now and available at TripAholix.com. The link is going to be in the description below. Clearly, this video was made for the Season 3 Heroes, as the title suggests, so without further hesitation, let's get started. In the previous hero breakdown videos, the heroes had a theme. All hero vids will be in the description below, so make sure you check them out. I call Season 3 or S3 heroes Synergistic Support and Recovery Specialists. I know that sounds kind of fancy, right? But I just made it all up. The point is, as we go through, you will see both a new level in hero battle gameplay introduced with Season 3 heroes, as well as one of the most powerful formations in the game unfold. Let's get into the details. So for starters, we get 6 additional heroes. And not that this part matters specifically, but we received 5 female and only 1 male character. This is actually kind of exciting to me because obviously I support and love females, and these characters are exceptionally well drawn. Hint, hint, you know. Anyway, on to a more important note. Vehicles truly become the most powerful setup with S3. And it gets ridiculous. I mean, the developers made 4 out of 6 of these heroes vehicle exclusive, adding only 1 fighter and 1 shooter hero. Interesting enough about that, guys, when it comes down to these heroes, it's a significant change. And honestly, I speculate that the developers were probably going to stop at Season 3 and just kind of had to go afterwards because, well, it was doing so well. So the formation known as the Three Sisters was born this season and is so devastating. It isn't truly rivaled until Advanced Season 5 in most cases. I'll go over them in a moment, but since this clearly is a vehicle show, let's start with the other 2 heroes, the non-vehicle heroes. So, although vehicles will prove to be the clear winner by the end of this video, let's start with my good friend, and I like this guy, Wings of Liberty. Now, unfortunately, I don't believe I have this gentleman. Not yet, but I do know all about him. See, Wings of Liberty is the shooter exclusive boss hero. Wings of Liberty is literally no joke, guys. I mean, it starts with a normal increase like you would see with your dictatorship skills, but then you move directly into piercing round. And my God, there is a prep, but with the support from friends, no big deal. 40% chance for almost 500% damage to 2 enemy squads with nearly 50% resistance debuff, essential for high might attack style formation. The 3rd and 4th skill are going to add 50% resistance and might to your shooters, and then you get to Soul of Freedom. See, the first 2 turns, 2 random enemies cannot perform basic attacks. Then he hits all enemies for 267.5% just to be mean. It's ridiculous. When you awaken him by getting his duplicate, you're going to add resistance and combat speed, then extra resistance, making him essential to a front row as far as front row heroes go. And then finally, you get adrenaline shot. And once past the prep, you deal even more damage to 2 random squads. And not only that, you start to heal your own squad and another in your formation at a 97% recovery rate. That's absolutely insane. And if I'm not mistaken, it is 1% higher than the S5 hero Organic that you're going to hear about in a couple videos from now. Either way, guys, you're going to want to pair Wings of Liberty with the Inquisitor and the Executioner from Season 2 to do some serious damage. I mean, he really ties the knot with those 2. Next, we have a hero that revolutionized the usefulness of fighters. This hero single-handedly made fighters as valuable, if not more valuable, than shooters. Her name, Tech Priestess. Her first combat skill alone, because the dictatorship skills literally stay the same, guys, gives a 60% damage to 2 friendly squads for 3 turns bonus. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then after the typical 50% boost of resistance and might in the 3rd and 4th skill, her 2nd skill, radar jamming, has a prep, but with 50% chance to confuse two enemy squads at random. And she explains it to mean that the randomization of the skills and basic attacks on friend or foe will happen for 2 turns. Confusion is definitely not something you want your group to be tied into. She's going to then give you one of my favorite things, which is HP once she is awakened, and then defense to all for the 7th skill. No different than our buddy Wings of Liberty. But finally, where she really shines, guys, is with the medical nanobots, which will basically make certain that fighters which already have the strongest defense also heal at a 33% recovery rate. Now, the cool part about this is that she's doing it with all 3 squads at the same time. So even though it's a less recovery rate, you also have to take into consideration that we're talking about fighters. They're going to take a quarter of the damage that shooters are because shooters have the worst defense or resistance. Either way, she's clearly going to do an insane improvement. And if you add Viscount to the front and the Knight to the rear, she makes an incredible mid-hero, and they make an incredible defense APC. Maybe put them in the defense queue, aka the 6th APC. And if you don't know what that is, then the video will be in the description. So next up, we have one of my favorites, and we're going to obviously, as quoted earlier, start into our vehicles at this point. We have Major Anastasia Nastya. She is here to do for S2 heroes that Wings and Tech have done for their types. Her Blitzkrieg on her first skill offers the removal of all debuffs on vehicles and shooters. Now, this is an immediate reminder that at this time, triple of each type is not the only way to go. I mean, the wording basically says, I'm going to help more than just my type of squad, which can be very, very helpful. So I would love to hear your favorite formations that uses shooters with her in the mix. Still though, 30% chance to make this skill happen, and if it does, you get the bonus of basic attacks, having a 25% possibility to cause suppression on an enemy squad for 1 turn. Meaning having a lot of basic attacks can become quite deadly. Hint, hint. So, the same might and resistance as the others, but then you end up getting Crimson Tide, which increases the battle speed of all friendly squads by 100, and then 70% chance to deal 2 basic attacks each turn for the first 3 turns, which, by the way, is absolutely insane. I mean, we're literally talking about hitting constantly when she's involved. If you get her duplicate, you can awaken her, and that will offer 180 vehicle speed, which is insane, and 20% resistance to might, and then she gives 40% might to her entire formation on her 7th skill. Now, you're going to be able to end with the first stackable skill for this season, and what that will do is it gives 60% additional damage once stacked fully to 2 random enemy squads. What you would want to do, guys, is clearly pair her with S2 Panther and Ionov for some serious and fun squad that crushes most enemies. Ooh-wee, we're getting closer, guys. Now we're at the finale. As you no doubt see, the synergy and support of the previous seasonal heroes is absolutely real, and the recovery skills add some serious variables to battle. If any of it was remotely impressive, the 3 sisters are going to bring it to the forefront, full throttle. Let's start with the rear this time with my homegirl, Countdown. Countdown, oof, wow, this is an exceptionally unique character, and it balances the formation and levels the playing field. See, her first strike, which is her wonderful first skill as it's named, has a 1/3 chance to hit all squads for massive damage, near 335%. Her first strike has over a 1/3 chance to hit all squads for a massive damage, near 335%. And you know what's next. So her second strike, as you can see, does even more massive damage to all squads, but if successful, it stops them from healing. So she is clearly the counter to the recovery, and 15% might and resistance vehicle damage upon awakening her, as long as you get that duplicate for her. But then after all that's said and done, and she gives might to her entire squad, a whopping 40% on the 7th, she's going to bring death with her. She stops basic attacks for her squad to lend 35% additional skill damage to herself, then hits a random enemy squad for a turn. She's clearly a killer. As you can imagine, doing all that damage and having all that fun, she likes to ride around with her sister, and her sister is no doubt known as the Farseer. See, Farseer is still going to have the same kind of dictator, but she starts exceptionally strong with her suppressing assault attack, which has a 40% chance to deal 255% damage to 2 random enemy squads, reducing both their might and resistance by 55% for 2 turns, clearly making countdown skills way more deadly. And to make her more outrageous, she grants the unique status of clarity with Falcon's Eye, which 2 friendly squads get to take advantage of. See, if the skill has prep, aka countdown to first strike, there's a 100% chance that they are immune to nearly everything for 2 turns. After casting a combat skill, guaranteed double damage potential and resistance. Her awakening, guys, will then give even better results with the same monstrous stats as the other. And then finally, her EMP 8th skill attack. All squads after prep silence them, and they cannot use combat skills for a turn. Guys, this is absolutely insane. There's a 40% chance of it, and it does almost 200% damage, but it's hitting everybody in its path. Then to round it off, guys, these 2 girls hang out with their big sis, the Vanguard. And Vanguard hangs out in the front row to immediately support the front line, the goals of the skills, and add additional power. See, her capacitor flux is going to give a negative 20% to basic attack, but 45% to passive skill damage, henceforth assuring no synergy with basic attack formations like Nastya and crew. Still though, her blur skill, when it activates, which is about 30% of the time, only when she's attacked, it will allow her to evade and avoid damage entirely, which is, again, ridiculous. Now, once you awaken her, she's going to give you even more vehicle speed, might and resistance to her squad that she's in, and even more might, guys, to the formation. That's 40% times 3. Oh my gosh, 120% might addition to everybody that's involved, making them a super powerhouse. And then finally, her 8th skill, which is probably the most OP skill ever, when it's maxed, it literally reads that you're going to, on 1, 3, 5, and the 7th turn, 100% chance to make 1 random friendly squad's 8th skill 100% success, and if it has a prep, 60% to remove the prep for 1 turn. And basically, if that happens, let's say to Farseer, guys, EMP considerably just ruins any battle. I mean, we're literally talking about silencing an entire team for a turn with 100% chance of perfect accuracy because of Vanguard. If that procs, which it does, it's insane. Now, the synergy that goes in between these guys, which I'm sure you can see after this breakdown, is absolutely intense. I mean, understand that if you get clarity along with 100% chance on 8th skills, along with silencing, if all of this is happening, you're pretty much done on the other end. And what makes it almost OP, like seriously overpowered, is the fact that vehicles are the fastest unit, and they're constantly powering up the speed and the might of these vehicles. So you're basically turning your vehicles into shooter-like attack power, removing all immunity from the most dangerous character you have in the formation. You're then giving 100% chance of completely stopping the enemy from doing anything to you. It's pretty. That's why they're the 3 sisters, guys. Listen, in conclusion, this is the most powerful and useful hero set in the series, bar none. And mind you, the S S3 series is what we're talking about. And if you wanted to know what you were saving your super tickets for, this is probably it, guys. Like if you're just now getting the S3 and you got 200-300 super tickets because you were really patient, this is probably what it is. Now, granted, S4 is coming soon, and you can't be too sure that you shouldn't wait for them. But I'm just going to give you that hint. Maybe go ahead and spend them on S3. See, deep in S5, there is a man that I mentioned earlier called Organic. And God only knows that is the next time you really need to be focusing on spending your super tickets. So that is all for this breakdown, guys. I hope this information was even remotely helpful. As promised, at the end of this video, I've been waiting really patiently, guys. I'm going to try to go in now, and I'm going to try to open my hero tickets. Let's see what we got here. All right, everyone. Wish me luck. You guys are seeing it first. I've not done it. This is all the way back from season 3. I mean, I've literally been holding on these tickets for almost 6 months. It's like, wow. Okay, so I'm going to start with the basic, and I'm getting something cornball like Arsenal. Ooh, Arsenal. He's not corny. Actually, by the way, he ended up being way, way better early on than I let on originally. So go ahead and use Arsenal, guys. Just forgive me. But let's get some more important stuff. Okay, so let's go to the more important stuff. Wish me luck. Another Arsenal? Come on. Come on. Dawn Guardian, come on. Reaper? Why couldn't I get a S3? All right, finally, my guarantees. Let's see what we get. Okay, Major Nastya. And Tech Priestess. Nice. Nice. Okay, I will definitely take that. I will be glad to go ahead and make sure I take care of those. I really, really, really wanted Tech Priestess, so that was very helpful because obviously now, if I wanted to, I can work really, really hard apparently to try to get duplicates. All right, guys, that's it for today. This is Ace of Spades as usual, and I'm signing out.